I don't often play puzzle games, and I couldn't really tell you why. Because whenever I do and complete one, I feel so smart, and I feel like I actually achieved something greater than just completing a game. But sometimes something comes along that just looks so intriguing to me and I can't help at least trying it out. Cocoon is one of those rare titles that does something so special that after finishing it, it feels like you just witnessed a thesis as to why the creation of video games should be regarded as an art form. There's a lasting impression of what games could be or can be. What the Copenhagen-based studio Geometric Interactive, led by Jeppe Carlsen and Jakob Schmidt, both known to have worked on Limbo and Inside, have achieved here makes me excited for the future of games. As always, I want to start off by stressing that if you think this game already seems interesting, and by God it is interesting, I would highly suggest closing this review right now and going in fully blind. I won't be spoiling any major events in the game, but I'll be showing some areas and scenarios in order to show what I'll be talking about in this review. Cocoon starts you off as a small fantasy/sci-fi bug in a barren alien landscape. There's no exposition, no voice lines to guide you, nor any written word as to what you're supposed to be doing in the whole game. You start exploring, soaking in the stunningly artistic graphical style, and let the environmental design carry you along. After tinkering with some of the first puzzles in order to progress what I would describe as the introductory area, you discover a circular platform that opens up to a white portal-like contraption. As you interact with it, your insectoid character hovers upwards and proceeds to fly towards the screen, exits what looks like a glassy orb and lands in some sort of transitional chamber. Suddenly, you realize that the world you were just exploring exists within this orb. Welcome to the world of Cocoon. As a sci-fi puzzle game, surprisingly, Cocoon is played with just the left stick for movement and one button for all interactions. The purity of this simplistic design is one of the factors why the game works so well. There's no free jumping, platforming, ducking or shooting, and it's a breath of fresh air. You interact with your surroundings with just one button. Sometimes this means pushing a button in order to move a platform or grabbing a world orb and carrying it on your back. There's multiple of these orbs or worlds, and while carrying them, they give you a certain special power which in turn gives you the ability to progress in the world. As the puzzles become increasingly complex, you'll be juggling the multiple orbs and flying in and out of these worlds as you figure out the different mechanics that accompany each one. Figuring out these mechanics and abilities happens very organically, and at no point in the game was I left feeling annoyed. The confident speed at which your character runs throughout the environment and the clear logic of every solution to every puzzle feels as if the game is just constantly reassuring you that this is not going to be a frustrating experience. It's rather comforting in its pacing. As I stated at the start, there's an apparent lack of directions or UI design, and while leaving you feeling isolated, it's a great way of foregoing the need to hold the player's hand. It trusts the player figuring out progression on their own. I highly prefer this over having a marker spoon-feeding me where to go. Following most sections and after you've done some puzzling and exploring, Cocoon throws a boss fight your way. These encounters are expertly crafted and combine the modesty of the thematic setting and its one-button design in a way that feels fresh, while still providing a sense of familiarity. It proves that well-designed boss fights don't necessarily always need a wealth of mechanics in order to be a satisfying experience. The coolest thing about the bosses is that unlike almost any other game out there, they don't kill you when you lose, they literally just yeet you back out of the orb you're in. They're a very welcome addition and provide just enough challenge in order to change up the tempo of the game. One thing that always means a lot to me in experiencing games is the auditory beauty of sound design, and it's clear from the start that less is more is a mantra the developers worshipped throughout this game. The music and sound effects are incredibly soothing and minimalistic. The soundtrack mainly uses soft drones and ambiences to create a sense of comfort and relief throughout what looks like a particularly desolate universe. I've been gaming for a long time, so I've seen and experienced a lot over the last decades. But with its minimalistic design and world-leaping mechanics, Cocoon does something that feels so special that by the time the credits roll it will leave a lasting impression. You carry literal worlds on your back. Worlds that you then can explore and even interconnect. The game's sci-fi art style is awe-inspiring and its puzzling beyond intuitive. Cocoon is an incredible experience and I'm confident that its 4 to 5 hour adventure will surely leave a firm footprint on the creative world of gaming. Now, go ahead and experience this cosmic mystery for yourself and let me know in the comments below what you think. Cocoon is available on all platforms and included in the PC Game Pass if you want to try it out for cheap. And if you like the vibe of this video, you know what to do. Take good care of yourself and see you in the next one.